Good afternoon. Welcome to the forecast discussion for January 29th, 2014. It's currently 1:48 p.m. And we're going to start off first with a reanalysis of the storm from yesterday, just to see how well we did. And as you remember, over the interior, about a trace to an inch was expected, pretty much a trace. From New York City, southern coastal areas of Connecticut, back through Philadelphia, a trace to an inch. Then to the south and to the east of Philadelphia and New York City, look for 1 to 3 inches, and what's expecting 2 to 5 inches right along the southeast coast of New Jersey. Here is the latest observations from the National Weather Service. Right here is a trace to an inch, which pretty much fell in line with what was forecasted. 1 to 3 inches, basically just south and west of, south and east, should I say, of the major cities, especially over Long Island. And then the jackpot, as expected, over southeastern New Jersey, where one location, let me pull up this individual report here, let's see, in New Jersey, got 7 inches of snow. That was pretty impressive. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Actually, you know what? Right here. Individual reports. Pull it up. 7.3. Atlantic City Airport, as of 7:40 a.m. this morning, 7.3 inches of snow from this little storm that just passed. And now imagine if it was able to shift a little bit further north and west, you'd be talking about over a foot of snow easily throughout the entire Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. This storm just clipped us, but that's how much moisture it had packed in it. And this storm is a warning for the upcoming winter pattern that we're about to move into for February. We dodged a bullet for this weekend. We're getting a little bit of a reprieve, but unfortunately we're going to be paying for it as we move into a very active, cold, impressive winter pattern for the rest of February. Well, now that I scared you, let's take a look at the observations. Currently, right now, we're ranging from the upper teens to lower 20s over the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. Dew points are pretty low, which means that it's going to be dry out there. So thankfully, we have no threat for precipitation whatsoever, with clear skies throughout the entire region. On the radar, well, not much really going on. Pretty much high and dry. A few lake effect snow showers off of Lake Ontario. No impacts on our region whatsoever. Now let's take a look at the water vapor satellite picture. Very interesting. Why? Say hello to our subtropical jet stream. Now, my premium members for weeks have been getting pounded on the idea that we're entering a very active winter pattern for February. So much so they're probably tired of me saying it. Well, I'm going to say it one more time. But now it's to the general public. We are going to be moving into a very, very active winter pattern heading into February. Now, the key as to whether or not you see a lot of rain, a lot of ice, a lot of snow, is going to really depend on how the disturbances in this jet stream interact with the disturbances in this jet stream. Sometimes they'll phase early and lead to a storm track over the coastal plain, which would be a snow, sleet, to rain type of event. Sometimes they'll phase perfectly and produce a prolonged, heavy, dangerous snow event. And sometimes they won't phase at all and you'll miss the storm completely. That's basically what we're dealing with here. The polar jet stream dropping south, delivering the cold air, and now we have our subtropical jet stream delivering all the moisture. And that is going to lead to a lot of problems, not only for the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area, but really for much of the country, really, as we deal with storm after storm. And this is just loading up. This jet stream is just loading up with disturbances. And same thing with the polar jet stream. So there will be no lack of potential. The question is whether all of that potential is realized, some of it, none of it. We're going to have to watch this pattern, and we're already starting to see one major winter storm starting to brew for next week at about, well, this time. So, we're going to use the Canadian model guidance because it's kind of the best average of all the model guidance that's out there. Now, I want to be very, very clear here. You cannot, in any way, shape, or form, take any specifics out of any of these models this far out. I know that there are, excuse me, there are some maps out there. One that made me choke, I apologize, from the European model guys that put out like what, like 4 feet of snow. I had to retweet it. I had to because it was just too funny just to see it sit right over my house, the bullseye of the heaviest snowfall. It would be my luck, right? I would have to shovel all of that, and that would definitely mean I wouldn't have to go to the gym for quite some time. But I could tell you that the point here is not to go over the specifics, but to understand and for you to understand the threats that we're going to be dealing with moving forward. Let's get to the good news first. The good news is this weekend. So for tonight, high pressure in control, clear skies, temperatures fall into the lower teens to single digits. It's going to be rather cold out there, but at this point we're pretty much used to it. For tomorrow, high pressure in control and warmer. How much warmer? Well, we might actually break freezing, maybe. Southern New Jersey might get to 33. So we're looking at upper 20s to lower 30s for highs. Friday, we really warm up. Get the heat wave going as high pressure starts to shift over the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. We actually touch normal, which is upper teens to lower 20s for lows and upper 30s to lower 40s for highs. Saturday, nice, tranquil, quiet. A few clouds increasing. Again, pretty much near normal. Mid to upper 20s for lows. Upper 30s to lower 40s for highs over the interior. Lower to mid 40s along the coast. Going to be very nice. All this ice and snow is going to start to melt. No impacts whatsoever on any Super Bowl festivities going on. Now on Sunday, we'll have a cold front move through with a few rain and snow showers. This is not a big deal here. Okay, so we'll deal with the rain and snow showers moving through. Again, not anything significant in nature. Looking for temperatures in the upper 20s to lower 30s for lows. Upper 30s to mid 40s for highs. Mid 40s right along the coast. Now, by the time we get to game time, which I know everyone's very interested in, we'll have dry air pretty much building in here. So you'll have a threat of snow showers and even a few rain showers, but mostly snow showers up until about, let's say, about 5 p.m., maybe 6 p.m. at most. Then we dry out, and for the bulk, if not all of the game, conditions are going to be dry. Temperatures are going to be falling through the 30s and the 20s. Look for winds around 5 to 15 miles per hour from the northwest. Not that bad. Certainly not as bad as what it could have been if we were just a day later, which is basically what we're going to see on Monday with another disturbance on the way. Now, the Canadian model guidance doesn't show this disturbance very well, but pretty much all the other model guidance do. So what I'm looking here with this disturbance on Monday morning is a few snow showers, but it's the same type of disturbance that really wasn't forecasted well with the storm yesterday. You know how yesterday up to about 2 days ago, it had nothing. So we're going to have to watch this one on Monday too, especially for southern New Jersey, central New Jersey, Philadelphia. Keep an eye on Monday. I'll definitely be watching that one. Temperatures will range from the mid to upper 20s for lows and lower to mid 30s for highs. Tuesday, pretty much quiet, high pressure and control. We'll have increasing clouds though because a storm's going to be brewing down here. Now here's where it gets interesting. For Tuesday, temperatures in the mid to upper 20s. Lower to mid 20s for lows. Upper 30s to lower 40s for highs. Then Wednesday, it gets a bit complicated. See, this disturbance and this disturbance are going to interact. The question is, how are they going to interact and when? See, if this disturbance is really strong and its phases too early with this disturbance, that pumps up this ridge and leads to a storm track that basically moves towards northeastern Pennsylvania. Now, it'll make people in northeastern Pennsylvania and western New York rather happy with a lot of snow, or upset, depending on how you feel about that. The immediate coast, though, would go from snow to ice to rain. And I say ice because you're going to have this high pressure system here locked in over Maine that is not giving way. So as a result, this scenario here where the low lifts northward, right here, okay, if you're reading this and saying, oh, it's just going to be heavy rain, because you have this high pressure system locked in, that cold air is going to try to stay locked in for quite some time. So this type of scenario would lead to snow changing to a prolonged period of sleet and freezing rain, finally ending as rain, going back over to snow at the very end. However, if this phase is a little bit later, and this is a little bit closer to the coast, which some model guidance shows, then this is a major winter storm with significant snowfall. I mean, we're talking about counting in feet rather than inches in this type of scenario here. So we have to watch out for this storm. This is a major storm here that is going to be very complicated, very difficult to forecast for. There's going to be some areas that will see mostly rain out of this, some areas that will see all snow, and then in between it's just going to be a mess of sleet and freezing rain. The question is when, where, and how much. Don't know that yet. Just know for right now, Tuesday night into Wednesday, through Wednesday, is not the best time to travel. We'll put it at that for right now. So that is your forecast discussion for today. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. Have a wonderful day, and as always, stay safe out there.